What's going on, my good people? It's your boy Jay Fry. Today we're outside in my small backyard garden where we're gonna plant 4 more things before June is over. So hang out with your boy for a minute and check it out. Alright, so we're here in Texas Zone 8B where we pretty much have an extended growing season, and everything I'm planting today, I think I can actually get away with planting them all the way up until like the 1st or 2nd week of July. Right now it's June the 21st, so I'm still gonna be pushing it, but hopefully we can get a nice little harvest before our first frost day. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we already have the grow bag set up, and we just amended the soil that we were using for the potatoes that I just harvested. And the only thing I added to it was some more peat moss and compost, bone meal and fertilizer. So I'm gonna plant 3 different varieties of sweet potatoes. The first one is this one. I'm not sure what variety this is, but this is one that was store-bought, and I just set it in the bucket. This is what I'm gonna do next year as well. I didn't even expect to get slips out of this one so soon, so I did order some slips, which don't look half as good as this one. So I know, I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not sure what they are. I got them from Central Market, and I know they are or it is a organic sweet potato. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can rip these slips off of here. And you know, doing it like this, I'm not even gonna have to set it in water or nothing like that. So I've already been taking slips off of it, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of these off, which it looks like it's only 2 or 3 left. So like I said, I got just off of this potato right now, I got 4 slips right now, and earlier I took like 6 of them off of there before. But I wanted to go ahead and get these sweet potatoes, planted. So these slips look a whole lot better than the slips that I ordered, even after sitting them in water. And like I said, right now, I don't think I need to sit these in water. They got a pretty nice root system. I'll get them planted. So these are, I think, what are these? These are 10-gallon grow bags. And I figured I could plant, if I planted 2 in a 5-gallon bucket, I think I can get three of them in 10-gallon grow bag. I probably can get more than 3, but I'm just gonna go with 3 for right now. And I did learn something, that if I had time, I can actually cut all of these and make more slips out of them. But of course I didn't have no time. I'm at the last minute. Now 4 of them might be overkill in here, and it might not be, but I only got 3 more bags left, and I got 2 more varieties of sweet potatoes that I want to try to grow. So these are some of the slips that I ordered. Is a Georgia Jet, and it had probably about 12 of them in there, and of the 12, these are the best. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these planted. I will tell you, I'm gonna try to do better next year by creating my own slips, because this is real skimpy to me. So I know I'm gonna plant 4 in this bag. I'm probably gonna do 4 in this bag and 4 in this bag. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna do 3 in each bag. So the root system is not looking too bad, but I set them in the water, set them in the windowsill, and that's how they look. So I got my store-bought sweet potato, 3 Georgia Jets, and the last one I'm going to plant, Murasaki purple one. So these are looking bad, but we're gonna go ahead and plant them in this grow bag anyway. Maybe we can get a potato or 2 and be ready for next year. So the roots on these, on this Murasaki purple, they don't look good. None of them look good. I don't know if it was from the transportation. It had to be from the transportation, because that's how I got them. You know, I might still win. I guess that's what I get for waiting till the last minute. So it seems like every time I'm planting some, I always have a test plant, and this is gonna be the test. All right, so we have our sweet potatoes planted. Like I said, these right here are store-bought sweet potato slips that I grew on my own. Then these two right here are Georgia Jets that I was able to revive a little bit. And then on the end right here, these are the Murasaki purples. Now I'm thinking at least that one and that one right there, we might have a chance to get a couple of sweet potatoes out of that one. So going forward, once I get sweet potatoes off of these, I will be creating slips just from these 3 for a while. So like I said, we're at June 21st. So sweet potatoes usually take anywhere from 3 to 4 months before you can harvest. So I still got a little time. All right, so the next thing we're going to be planting are these Roma tomatoes. Now I have about 7 plants right here. I won't be able to put all of them in the ground. I'll probably just plant like 2 or 3 of them today. And the other ones I'm gonna have on standby for the tomatoes that I already have planted, which one of them is a determinate tomato that is almost at the end, and one of my cherry tomatoes is not looking too good. So I'll probably replace it with those. But these also are Roma tomatoes. I think they are determinate tomato plants. I hope they are. And generally Roma tomatoes are heat tolerant, so planting them right now here at the end of June, early July, we should be able to get a harvest off of these. So let me go ahead and plant a couple of these. I'm gonna put one of them in the ground for now and maybe the other one in the grow bag. All right, so if you see right here, this is where I have my shiitake peppers growing. And I know I waited too late to put these peppers in. They are still growing, but I have one right here that's pretty much done. So I'm gonna put one of these tomato plants right here in the middle of these other plants. So I have 3 other ones. I may end up, this one is still looking good, still producing peppers, and so are these 2, so I'm gonna leave them. But this one look like it's dying off, so I'll get the peppers off of there if I can, or maybe even just let this dry out and get the seeds off of here. So this is gonna be the first time with, besides these peppers, this is the first season with me planting in this soil. So it hadn't been worked as much. So this is a good thing that I'm actually coming in here, swapping it out and planting. I'm gonna go ahead and add some nutrients and some more fertilizer or something to it, just to help me out. I'm gonna add a little bone meal to it as well. And this right here, this is not wood pellets in here. This is some soil that I already mixed up. Got some compost, a little peat moss that I use for the grow bags. And so I'll add that to that. So, and then plus I'm gonna try to get this whole thing in here, because I know this is good soil that I have in here too, and it's also gonna help, you know, with the soil that I already have in place, trying to get this soil worked up pretty good. That way for sure next season, it'll be that much better for sure. So we did have look like a little root coming up out of there. So I want to keep this intact the best I can. Actually, I want to plant it a little bit deeper. I forget I want to plant it all the way up to the top leaves, but I'm still looking good. All right, so we got one Roma tomato plant planted. Now I hope it do well in between these peppers. So I'm just gonna plant this next tomato plant in this 5-gallon grow bag. And before I do that, let me show you this one right here. So this is a cherry tomato plant that I have in a 7-gallon grow bag, and I have 3 of them growing, but this one seems to be a little bit more skimpier than the other ones. And plus the tomatoes, you know, they seem to be ripening a little bit faster, but they're not getting as big as the other plants. So what that means for me is the skin is fairly tough. Now the meat on the inside is still good, but the skin is tough. So it's ready for me to harvest today. I'm gonna go ahead and harvest all of the tomatoes off of this one today. Then I'll fertilize it and clean it up a little bit, and I give it a little bit to see. If it'll recoup. If not, this is where I'm going to plant the next Roma tomato plant at, since I have a few of them over there. And that's actually why I started the Roma tomatoes, just in case these died off or got some type of disease or something like that. You can see that's breaking off, pretty much dried out a little bit, but we'll see. Let me go ahead and get this one planted. So like I said, this is a 5-gallon grow bag. Probably would have been nice if it was a 7. I think going forward, I don't think I'm going to buy anything smaller than a 7-gallon grow bag. That's a 7. It seems to be doing pretty good. Everything in the 7 seems to be doing pretty fine. So I'll go ahead and mix this up a little bit. Now I may have already added some fertilizer and everything to this bag. I just don't remember. I had it set up already. So the same thing with this one. I don't know how far. I'm just gonna look. I'm gonna go all the way up to there. I pulled those off. I don't know if you can see that. All right, you know what? I got one more place I'm gonna try to plant a tomato plant. Since I have so many of them, I'm gonna be pushing it, but I'm about to try it. Okay, so yeah, this may not be the best place for me to be planting a tomato plant. This is where I have my cucumber trellis. Cucumbers are close by, and I know they might end up fighting for nutrients, but you know, every time I plant something, I'm always trying something. I've already added some compost, some fertilizer and bone meal into this spot right here. So I'm just gonna put it right here at the end of this trellis. And I believe it is a determinate plant, but I'll just use this trellis to kind of stake it off if I need to. And then it'll pretty much shade the other cucumber plants on the other side if it grows big enough or whatnot. But yeah, let's go ahead and try to put this one in here. I probably end up stepping on this one before it's all said and done. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna be planting in this bed right here are some beans. I got 3 varieties of beans. The first one is gonna be a garden bean, a Kentucky Wonder. So this one is a pole bean, and I'm gonna plant it right here on the end. I do have a trellis here that's not quite a 6-foot trellis, but if I need to switch it out, I'll switch it out. And I have soaked the beans in warm water, so it's been about 8 hours. And they suggest you do that to kind of soften up the shell. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these out of this water, and I'm just gonna plant them right here. So as you can see, I did go ahead and prep my holes and make sure I had enough space for the amount of seeds that I had. I had a few extra ones. So I got 3 rows of pole beans planted. I'm just gonna cover those up. Some of them I'll plant deeper than the other. All right, so the next thing that we're gonna plant is gonna be a cow pea. This is a pink eye purple hub pea, and it says to plant these the seeds every 3 inches. So I soaked these as well. I have plenty of seeds. I didn't really make the markings all the way. I know it's like every 3 inches, so I'll just get these planted out in this area, and then I move on to the next. All right, so the last bean I'm gonna plant is gonna be a lima bean. This is not a pole bean, so I can just plant this out in the open too. And I just planted everything, and I kind of lost track of where I stopped with the purple hub pea. So I'm gonna assume that I got this space on back, right? And I just put this here so I know I have this much space to plant the last thing we're gonna plant. All right, so far we've planted some sweet potatoes, some Roma tomatoes. I put some beans and some peas right here in this raised bed behind me. If you're still here with me, make sure to subscribe to the channel and help your boy grow. You know I appreciate that. Also, don't forget to like the video and share with somebody. So the last thing we're gonna plant, I'm actually not 100% sure on what it is and what variety it is, but I'm fairly close. So I'm just gonna show you. Last year I collected 2 seeds, right? I think this one was a honeydew melon and this one was a cantaloupe. I believe it was like a sugar cube cantaloupe, and I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and go with this one because it's a smaller seed. And I do remember, if it's the cantaloupe that I'm thinking of, it was like a little personal size cantaloupe. So with it being right here at the end of June going into July, this may be the perfect cantaloupe for me to plant at the end of this raised bed in here with the beans and the peas. And I'll just let it vine off the edge and pretty much run up the sides right here like I did last year, and then we should be good to go. So what I'm gonna do is, with this bed where I just planted these peas at, I'll water it, but then I'll come in with a shade cloth and kind of just put it over the top of it to help keep the sun from drying it out so fast, being as you can see we already in the 90s where I'm at here in Texas. So I'll water this and I'll end up putting the shade cloth over it. That way it'll help everything go ahead and germinate and grow. All right, so I forgot to mention that in this bed I did, after I removed what I had here, I did go ahead and add some compost that I made. So it should be fairly decent. Now I didn't add any fertilizer or nothing like that, but we still should be good. So I'm just gonna place these seeds pretty much throughout the bed, and I'm pretty much just dropping them freely. And you know, if too many of them grows, I'll just thin them out accordingly. All right, so I got my beans, peas, and my cantaloupe planted in this raised bed. I went ahead and watered everything to wet the soil, and I just came in, like I said, and put this shade cloth over the top of it. So this is probably like a 3x6 or something like that. These beds are 3x6, so it's pretty close. And this is what I pretty much use this time of the year when it's too hot and I'm planting seeds. I just use this to cover it up. That way it doesn't dry out the soil too fast. All right, so that's pretty much it. I appreciate you hanging out with your boy. Don't forget, if you like this video, to hit that thumbs up button. I'll holler at you.